You've probably heard the theory that our reality is just a simulation, right? It's a classic thought experiment. But what if I told you a new, wild version of that theory is circulating online, and it adds a pretty terrifying twist? It suggests the control center for our simulation is right here, in our own solar system. And we might have just witnessed 3 of their delivery drones fly right past us.
Yeah, let's really dig into that for a second, because it is a huge claim. We're not talking about some passive, set it and forget it kind of simulation. No, this theory suggests our reality is being actively managed by an intelligence lurking right here in our cosmic backyard.
So the whole idea really boils down to 2 main things. First, you've got the simulation itself. And second, and this is where it gets really crazy, is the control center. The theory claims it's the theoretical Planet 9, except it's not a planet at all. It's supposedly an advanced alien station, hidden by some kind of invisibility shield.
Okay, so you might be wondering, where in the world did an idea like that come from? Well, it's all being fueled by 3 very real, very strange, and largely unexplained objects that have recently paid a visit to our solar system.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the timing here. For basically all of recorded human history, we had never, ever confirmed a single visitor from another star system. 0. Then, boom, suddenly we spot 3 in just 8 years. You can see why that sudden burst of traffic has people a little on edge. All right, let's start with the first one, which showed up back in 2017. Its Hawaiian name, Oumuamua, means messenger from afar. And believe me, it more than lived up to the name. This thing was just bizarre. You know, when a comet gets close to the sun, you expect to see that classic tale of gas and dust, right? Well, with Oumuamua, there was nothing. Nada. What was even weirder, though, is that as it was leaving, it sped up. It accelerated away from the sun in a way that our laws of gravity just can't explain. It was as if something was hitting the gas pedal. And check this out. This gives you an idea of its wacky shape. As this thing was tumbling through space, its brightness was changing like crazy, by a factor of 10. The only way that's even possible is if it has a super extreme shape, with an aspect ratio of about 10 to 1. So don't picture a round space rock. Picture a giant cosmic cigar, or maybe even a really, really flat pancake.
Then, fast forward just 2 years. A second visitor shows up. This one was actually spotted by an amateur astronomer, a guy named Gennady Borisov. And at first glance, this one seemed, well, a lot more familiar, a lot less alien.
So unlike Oumuamua, this one, Borisov, had the whole package. A visible coma, a long tail. It looked like a comet, it acted like a comet. And honestly, a lot of scientists probably breathed a sigh of relief. But when they actually analyzed the gas it was spitting out, they found a chemical signature that pointed to something very specific and very, very strange.
And then in 2025, a third interstellar object was tracked. This one, named Atlas, almost felt like a mashup of the first 2. It had this unusual, ghostly blue glow, and it was moving like an absolute bullet, cutting across the flat plane of our solar system at this really steep, unusual angle.
So here's the key thing you gotta understand. All 3 of these objects were on what's called a hyperbolic orbit. Now, our planets go around in circles, in ellipses, right? They keep coming back. A hyperbolic orbit is a one-way ticket. It's the smoking gun, the definitive proof that these weren't from around here. They were true interstellar travelers, just passing through. Okay, so we've got these 3 separate mysterious events. Now let's get to the fun part. How theorists connect all these dots and weave them into one massive conspiracy that rewrites our entire reality. It all circles back to Borisov, that second visitor, and its strange chemical signature. See, scientists found it was packed with ridiculously high levels of carbon monoxide. Now here's the kicker. That specific chemical makeup could only form in a place that is unbelievably cold. And guess what? That makes it a near-perfect match for the conditions predicted to exist way out in the distant region of our solar system, right where that hypothetical Planet 9 is thought to be hiding. So you see that link? A chemical connection between a visitor from another star system and a mysterious, unseen object in our own solar system. That connection right there, well, that's the launch pad for this entire grand simulation theory.
Okay, so here's the full theory. Get ready. Planet 9 isn't a planet, it's an alien control station, and it's running our simulation. The 3 interstellar visitors, they weren't random passersby, they were courier probes, sent to deliver physical updates to the system. And the most terrifying part? Some theorists claim that the recent spike in global disasters is a direct result of these updates, basically glitching the code of our reality.
And the theory claims that if you look at the trajectories of these objects, it looks like they made a deliberate stop in the region of Planet 9 before they continued their journey out of our solar system. You see, they're not just passing by, they're making a delivery.
So, look, whether you buy into this whole incredibly elaborate theory or you think it's just sci-fi nonsense, the arrival of these objects highlights two very different but also very real kinds of threats that we face.
On one hand, you've got the conspiracy danger, right? A malicious reality update that could just wipe us out. But on the other hand, there's a much more concrete scientific danger. And the fact is, we can't see these objects until they are already way deep inside our solar system. If one of them were on a direct collision course with Earth, we would have practically no warning, almost no time to react.
And that's really the ultimate question these visitors leave us with, isn't it? Are they alien couriers, servicing some hidden cosmic machine that controls our every move? Or are they just random cosmic bullets, reminding us that the next visitor we don't see coming? Well, it could be the last. The truth is, we just don't know. But you can bet we're still watching.